Hello, garden enthusiasts! Today we're diving into a fascinating topic in gardening and farming: grafting. We'll cover why grafting is important, the basics of how it works, different types of grafting, and the tools used. What is grafting? Grafting, also known as graftage, is a cool gardening trick where we join parts of two plants together so they grow as one. The top part is called the scion, and the bottom part with the roots is called the rootstock. This technique is super popular in growing plants for gardens and farms. Why do you need grafting? Let me share a couple of cool scenarios with you. 1. Have you ever seen those miracle trees? Like an apple tree that grows 6 different kinds of apples, or a tree with plums, peaches, and other fruits all on one stem. 2. Or how about buying an orange tree that has the strong roots of one type, but the tasty fruit of another? Sounds amazing, right? Well, for a long time, farmers, plant scientists, and home gardeners have been making these ideas real through grafting. How grafting works. To understand grafting, we need to know a bit about plant parts. We all know about bark, the outer layer of trees. But there's a super interesting layer just under the bark called the cambium. This cambium layer is special because it doesn't have a specific job yet. It's like a blank canvas, ready to become whatever the plant needs. It can turn into more bark, new water, and food tubes. That's the vascular tissue, new branches, or even some roots. The avocado example. Let's talk about avocados. If you've tried growing an avocado tree from a seed, you might have noticed the tree isn't very strong. That's because avocado trees that make the tastiest fruit often don't have the best support system. They use all their energy to make yummy fruit, so they don't have much left for strong roots or fighting off diseases. That's one reason why avocados can be expensive. There's a type of avocado tree that's really strong and can grow in many soils, but its fruit isn't very tasty. Thanks to grafting, we can now take the tasty fruit part from one tree and put it on the strong roots of the other. This gives us a new tree with both strong roots and delicious fruit. Pretty cool, right? Different grafting methods. Grafting isn't too hard to do. There are several types you can choose from. At number 1, approach grafting. We take 2 whole plants and attach their stems together. We strip a small part of bark from each stem, press the exposed parts together, and tie them. Over time, they heal together, kind of like how a cut on your skin forms a scab. At number 2, T-budding. Here we use just one bud instead of a whole branch. We take the bud off its original plant with a bit of bark and put it into a cut on the rootstock stem. After it heals, we cut off the top of the rootstock and the new bud grows into a branch. At number 3, cleft grafting. This is a common method that makes strong grafts. We make a split in the bigger rootstock and put in one or more smaller scions that have been cut into a wedge shape. This is great for fruit trees. There are many other special grafting techniques, but they all work on the same basic idea. Expose the cambium and encourage it to make new plant tubes. The more cambium exposed, the stronger the graft, and the more likely your new plant parts will survive. What makes a graft successful? For a graft to work well, we need a few things. 1. The scion and rootstock need to be compatible. Usually, the more closely related 2 plants are, the better they'll graft. 2. We need to line up the cambium layers just right and press them together firmly. This helps them join quickly so water and nutrients can move from the roots to the scion. 3. We need to take good care of the grafted plant. We use special tapes and waxes to protect the graft from drying out, and sometimes we use string for extra support. We might also need to trim off any shoots that the rootstock tries to grow. Now let's discuss grafting tools. To do grafting, you'll need 1. Really sharp, clean knives. A good grafting knife usually has a blade about 3 inches long and a handle about 4 inches long. 2. Graft seals like special clays, waxes, petroleum jelly, or tapes. These keep the graft moist but still allow for growth. 3. Things to tie and support the graft. 4. Sometimes for big operations, people use grafting machines to speed things up. And there you have it. That's grafting in a nutshell. It's a fantastic way to combine the best qualities of different plants. If you enjoyed learning about grafting, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your gardening friends. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel for more gardening tips and tricks. Happy gardening!